Today's PD is called Mindsets in the Theater Studio class. Our last one, which is the overarching for the whole year, is Students at the Center, Art at the Heart. And we're going to kind of carry that through with really kind of the grounding principles of being culturally responsive.
Today's focus on mindsets means that our teachers are coming in with the intention of using social emotional learning to help their kids get in connection with what they think and who they are.
I feel like my students are engaged, they feel engaged, but how do I know? How can I tell? They're participating, they're talking to one another, the things that they're saying are on task.
The goal was to really model what it means to make space for student voice in the work of creating theater.
It just means you're taking a step back and always kind of reflecting on why am I doing what I'm doing now? It might not be as relevant as it was yesterday. And what's happening with my students today that shifts and changes? And how can we be flexible? And how can we be in the same model that we want our young people to be in, that growth model?
One of the sessions a lot was about like power, giving power or ownership to the student. And as an elementary teacher, sometimes it's like, how much can I give, right? But it's giving trust in your kids and knowing like, oh, I can try a leadership position with them. I can have students running the lights, running the sound.
Setting expectations is the thing that is going to enable success.
Please welcome Dr. Jess LeBlanc.
My interest is around kind of bridging two fields. One is developmental psychology and the other is culturally responsive teaching. And so bringing those two things together, I thought that theater was that space where I could see children's developmental needs being met. So when I think about theater education, again, as an outside person who's had a little bit of inside, I look at the broader skill set that children are developing, the broader competencies. I think about it in terms of 21st century learning skills.
Our students, they get to be themselves in theater, they get to be not afraid to try something new and to maybe take risks that they wouldn't take in their real life or in the classroom. I have a lot of students that struggle in their academics, but when they come to my class, they have a chance to shine in a whole different way.
Students want to connect to you too. They want to connect to the people who's teaching them, right? It's that old adage of they don't care what you know until they know that you care. So they want to build that connection with you.
Theater education is the bridge to social emotional learning, and kids have the ability in theater to do things that they can't do in the classroom, to connect emotionally to pieces, to find characters, to find pieces of themselves, to express themselves and feel part of something bigger than them.
So I have conversations with students about like why this theater experience matters so much. And oftentimes what I notice in theater classes is that students have the opportunity to really be their authentic self. So let's be real. Students are cutting classes but coming to theater classes. And then when they have spaces where they can actually have these different needs being met, they have their cognitive needs, they have these behavioral needs, and also these relational engagement needs happening, that's the sweet spot. And so I see that your theater classes are opportunities that really address those different levels of engagement. And in many other classes, the focus is really on the cognitive engagement piece.
I've been a professional development facilitator for Peter Avery in the theater program for many, many years, and I see the way in which it rejuvenates the community of theater teachers in New York City. It bolsters confidence, and it really helps teachers remember they're not alone, and gives them the tools they need to move forward.
I love hands-on and interactive learning. So for me, this was everything. This is exactly what I want my kids to be doing. So I'm always constantly learning a lot and getting ideas from everybody to take back to my school.
1, 2, here we go!
Today was super nice. It was very re-energizing. We all got to work on a piece together and then get to share it out. Most of us are artists first, so we just love to perform. We love theater. So getting to perform in front of everybody and work together, and that was definitely the highlight.
I love teaching. I've been teaching 27 years. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to go, but wherever I go, I'm going to use my skills and the skills I learned here at the PDs to keep theater alive.